The Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time, in a quiet village, nestled at the edge of a vast green forest, there lived a mother pig and her three little piglets, Percy, Penny, and Peter. They were a cheerful trio, full of laughter, curiosity, and a love for sweet apples. The little pigs had grown up quickly, and one sunny spring morning, Mama Pig called them together under the old apple tree in the yard. "My dear children," she said gently, brushing flour from her apron, "you are old enough now to go into the world and build lives of your own. But remember this: be wise, work hard, and take care of one another." The three piglets hugged their mother tightly, packed their knapsacks with sandwiches and apples, and set off down the winding road to find their fortunes. Percy builds a house of straw. The first little pig, Percy, was cheerful and playful. He loved to hum songs and blow dandelions into the wind. After walking just a short while, Percy saw a golden field of straw swaying gently in the breeze. "This is perfect," he said. "I'll build my house right here. It will be quick and easy, and then I'll have more time to play." He gathered bundles of straw, tied them together, and built a cozy little hut with a round straw roof. In just one afternoon, Percy had finished. He danced around his new home, proud and excited. That evening, he roasted marshmallows over a small fire and fell asleep under the stars, dreaming of cloud castles and sweet apple pies. Penny builds a house of sticks. The second little pig, Penny, was clever and curious. She loved the way trees rustled in the wind and birds chirped stories in the branches. After a long walk, she came upon a grove filled with strong, straight sticks. "These will make a fine house," she thought. Stronger than straw, and still quick to build. She carefully arranged the sticks, tying them with vines and using mud to seal the gaps. Her house had a tall, pointed roof and even a small porch where she could read books in the shade. It took her 2 days to finish, but Penny was pleased. That night, she sipped warm tea from her favorite acorn cup and watched fireflies dance outside her window. Peter builds a house of bricks. The third little pig, Peter, was thoughtful and steady. He believed in building things to last. After walking for several days, Peter found a quarry full of red clay bricks and a kind old mole who sold mortar and tools. "It will take time," Peter said, "but I want my house to be strong and safe." Brick by brick, Peter built a sturdy cottage. He measured every wall, laid each stone with care, and made sure the roof was tight and secure. Neighbors from the forests stopped by to admire his work. A squirrel helped carry bricks, and a badger offered him lemonade. After 2 weeks of hard work, Peter's house was complete. It had solid walls, a strong wooden door, and a chimney where smoke puffed gently from his warm fireplace. A visitor in the forest. But deep in the forest, beyond the babbling brook and the whispering pines, lived someone else, the big bad wolf. He was clever, crafty, and always hungry. One morning, the wolf caught the scent of something delightful, pigs. He growled, licking his lips. "Time for a feast." He crept through the trees, his eyes gleaming, and soon he came upon Percy's straw hut. The wolf at the straw house. The wolf knocked on Percy's door and called out in a sing-song voice, little pig, let me come in." Percy peeked through a straw window and cried, No, not by the hair on my chin. Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." The wolf took a deep breath and, whoosh, he blew with all his might. The straw house flew into the air like feathers in the wind. Percy squealed and ran as fast as he could down the road toward Penny's stick house. The wolf chuckled darkly and followed behind, his tail swishing with excitement. Percy banged on Penny's door. "Let me in. The wolf blew my house down." Penny opened the door wide, pulled Percy inside, and locked it tight. Soon enough, the wolf arrived. Little pigs, let me come in." "No, no, not by the hairs on our chinny-chin-chins." "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." He took a mighty breath and whew. The stick house creaked and groaned. Then crash. Down it came, sticks flying in every direction. Percy and Penny screamed and ran as fast as their hooves could carry them straight toward Peter's brick house. Peter was baking apple muffins when his siblings burst through the door. "The wolf! He blew down our houses!" Percy cried. Peter locked the door and peeked outside. The trees rustled, and then a shadow. The wolf had arrived. Little pigs, let me come in." "No, no, not by the hairs on our chinny-chin-chins," the three piglets shouted together. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." The wolf took the biggest breath of his life and whew, blew with all his might. But the brick house stood firm. He huffed again and puffed again till he whoosh, until he was dizzy and tired. But no matter how hard he tried, the house would not fall. "A clever plan, furious," the wolf snarled. "Then I'll come down the chimney." Inside, Peter whispered to his siblings, "Quick! Fill the pot with water." They placed a large iron pot in the fireplace and filled it with water and apple slices. Soon the fire beneath it was crackling and the water bubbled. Outside, the wolf climbed onto the roof. He sneered, "They think they're safe, but I'm cleverer than that." He slid down the chimney straight into the pot. "Yow!" he howled, leaping into the air and flying out of the chimney like a firework. With his tail singed and his pride bruised, the wolf dashed into the forest, never to bother the little pigs again. A new beginning. The next morning, the forest was peaceful again. Percy and Penny looked at their brother and said, "Your house saved us. We were too quick to build. You were patient and wise." Peter smiled. "It's okay. We all learned something. Let's rebuild together." So Percy gathered strong straw for roofing. Penny collected the finest sticks for furniture, and Peter laid bricks for extra rooms. With teamwork, they built a new home bigger, stronger, and full of laughter. Their mother came to visit and hugged them all tight. "I'm so proud of you," she said, tears in her eyes. "Not just for building a safe house, but for building it with love." And from that day on, the three little pigs lived happily together in their warm brick house, always ready for anything and always looking out for each other. Moral of the story: taking shortcuts may seem easy at first, but true safety and success come from thoughtful work, cooperation, and patience. When you build your life on strong foundations, you can weather any storm or wolf.